Hello. Do you remember we were talking about whether you got a new name? Well, I'm going to call you by a new name today, and I'm calling you Storehouse. No, that's a bit strange, but do you know we've got stuff locked into us that we don't know we've got until we're under pressure? My mum, she was a terrible cook, but she always had a pantry. And when I got married, I was a terrible cook, but I had a pantry. And now, because I've been cooking for years, whenever anybody turns up to my house unexpectedly, I've got the means of making a meal, and I do pretty well actually. So, under the pressure of having people come round, I was able to find that skill. Um, that's a bit of a loose way of introducing this subject. Now, Joseph, he's always been seen as a dream interpreter. And when I was reading the passage this time, I noticed that he shared his dream with his brothers and they instantly got angry. And he shared his dream with his dad and he instantly got angry. Well, let's see what happened. He said there's going to be these sheaves of wheat around about and they're all going to bow down. And then the other one is the sun and moon and the stars all bow down. Now, he didn't say what that dream meant. We don't know whether he actually could interpret dreams, whether he understood the dreams. He just shared them. Yet, instantly, his brothers and his father knew what those dreams meant. Now, when Joseph got to be in the prison, he may never have used dream interpretation before, but that was stored up in his heart. And when the butler and the baker told him they'd had dreams, he says, well, God interprets dreams. And then he was able to tell them what was going to happen, so that when Pharaoh needed the dream interpreted, they remembered there was a young man who knew how to do this. Now, the other skill that he'd got that we don't see in his early life was great administration skills. When he was a boy, he wore a posh coat, and it sounds like he didn't do much work at all. So, how did he learn to be an administrator? He must have observed something, but there was that stored up in his heart. So, by the time he got to Potiphar's house, he was able to run that household. We don't know how many servants he had, but he must have been quite a few. And then, when he gets sent to jail, he's also able to run the prison for the jailer. He had favour on his life. So when it came to interpreting the dream for Pharaoh, he said, you need to put somebody in charge so that they can gather up the seed in the good times to store up for the bad. And Pharaoh said, well, what better chap is there than you? And so that obviously raised Joseph into the position of being second in command. Now, we might not ever run a country, but for sure there's going to be some dark times ahead, and the world is going to be looking to us for solutions. We've been praying for witty inventions and ideas. Now recognise there's something stored up in you that is going to come out when the need comes. See you tomorrow.